Alright, hello YouTube. Assassin, we're going into part 3 of the videos I've been making. Part 1 was the installation of StillBeast itself. Part 2 was the maps and the map tools. Alright, so here we go. We're going to go into part 3, which will be the menus in StillBeast and where everything is. So I'm going to click here in my documents, eSIM games. Still Beast. Alright, so this folder right here holds your AARs. After each mission, you have an option to save your AARs, which are right here. Okay. You export, like you can export briefings and stuff like that. Okay. Your controls, see, I exported my controls to save them. Alright, I don't deal with this one that much, so I don't know exactly what it's for. Logs, this is your log file. The most recent one will be at the top for the most part, as you see here. So if you have any issues, you can send the eSIM team this file here. They also got a debug executable that you can run that will help pick up what's going on with your system. All right, media. If you built a mission and it has media in it, it would be here. Mods, any mods that you download from StillBeast that's approved for you got to be careful with that because there's some that's not approved for multiplayer and there's some that is. So I don't have any, but some of the videos you see out there, some people have sound mods and stuff like that. This is where the sounds would go. Okay, here's where your voices would go if you had voice mods. And textures, if you had any texture mods, they would go here. So there's TIS, winter, excuse me, woodland. Okay. So you put them in your different countries, and like US has got different years, so pretty cool stuff. All right. Um. All right. So we have my call signs template, which I don't have anything in there. This is modified call signs. Okay. My operations. I think there's a eSIMS is working on an operation campaign type deal, which I'm sure they're going to finish up here in the next few releases or so. I'm not sure. I don't really know what's the detail of that. So what is that doing there? Okay. My scenarios is all your custom scenarios. This is not where your default scenarios will be. So don't go looking for your default scenarios here because they're not here. Okay. All right. My unit templates. This is where your unit templates will be. This is the one I made some of these, and then like CV90 Met Company or Koi, excuse me, that's made from King Tiger. So you can download them off of StillBeast there. Pretty good templates to use. Reports. Each time you play a mission, it's going to generate a report when you're done. So it has all the details of what happened during the mission. Let's see if I can find a Russian port. Abrams testing. Oh, a lot of testing here. Give me a second here. Ah, there we go. I was looking for a TGIF mission, but I must have cleaned it up before. So we'll do this one. Let's see. That one. That was Canium. So as you see, it comes up. Everybody who played in that mission will be here. Here's their scores. Okay. All right. So and then at the bottom it has the events and stuff like that. It has all the ammunition used, all the units, and then it has um, at the bottom the events of what happened. Okay, like this tank shot who and stuff like that. Normally the host will have the updated one. For some reason that one didn't go through. Okay, saved images. This will be the when you hit Shift F12 during game. This is where your save images will go. Such as right here. This is a mission I'm working on right now. Okay. All right. I just took a picture of it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and launch StillBeast. Well, our folder will open here. Yep. Alright, so we have the right version 4.159. Alright, and we're going to go through the menus here. Alright, so your first menu here is your tank range. You go here and you can select whatever vehicle you want to shoot on the tank range. It gives you a score from whatever user you pick. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Instant action. So you go here, you got vehicles to select to play your instant action. Alright, and pretty much you're stuck in the middle of, I wouldn't say middle of a minefield, but you're surrounded by minefield and you can't go anywhere and the enemy's coming at you and they're trying to do a bridgehead. So it's pretty painful. Here's your tutorials. Um, I'm sure there's going to be more added because there's much more playable vehicles than what's here. So I know eSims is working on that. So here's where you would do your tutorials for each vehicle. So we select M1A2 and they go through all the tutorials and they explain. So let's go back here. Tutorials, offline sessions. This is where you can go and do custom scenarios or you can do default scenarios, which are right here. Okay, so speak of default scenarios, I'm going to show you where the default scenarios are kept. Okay, so we go to here. So this PC, local disk, program data, eSIM games, still beast. And your scenarios are here. This is where your default scenarios are. Okay, which mine are, let's see. Oh, okay, here we go. I gotta redo that. I released on the forums. I'm not gonna get off track here, but I released these updated with the maps all nice and pretty, unlike they are now. So, okay. So that is where that is. Alright, so these are the basic scenarios that come with Still Bees and multiplayer right there. Alright, so there's all the missions that you can save. You can choose where to put them. These are folders. It always starts with the folders up here. The folders got a backslash behind them, like this, okay? So that's a folder, that's a mission. The mission's got scene.scene. Alright, and those are folders. Yep. And see, okay. So, alright. Operations, Stillbeast is working on this right now. I don't know. Here's one. I never played it. I don't care to either. So if you care, you can try it. I haven't. I heard it's pretty good from some, and some I heard they didn't like it. So I don't know. Network session. This is where you go to join somebody. They'll give you their external IP to put here. You put here, you hit go, and then their session will pop up here. And you'll normally see their PC name and or who they are, and then you just double click here or join, and it will go into the game. And you hit yes to download the mission from them. You have to have the same map though. Let's see. So we exit out here. Load AAR. This is where you would load your AARs. You can hit sort. It will sort through your AARs. Okay. Pretty simple. All right. I can probably go into AARs here in a little bit. All right. Here's your mission editor. So if you want to edit a mission, you would come here to edit a mission. You have a map editor. If you wanted to bring a map into the game or export the legacy maps to the new maps, you can do that here too. So I think there's a video already out, which there is, and it explains it. Here's your records. Here's where all your unit users are. You can delete them or create them. So I'm gonna delete this guy. Yep. and then I'm going to create him again. Hang on. Assassin, and then you just hit enter, and it creates it. So now I have a user now. Okay. All right. Okay. Here's options. Here's your difficult setting, your realism setting, your screenshot format, your terrain detail distant, which you do have the option in game. If you're the host, you will on a multiplayer. If you're single player, you can adjust this anytime. Okay, you got your minimum, which is this. You got your default, and of course you can turn it all the way up, however you want. All right, you got your display here. I got mine in window. I got my VSync on. Okay, you can adjust whatever settings you want to do. You got your graphics here. You can adjust these during game. Okay. Audio. This is your master volume. Okay, you can do this during game by hitting Alt S, and it will allow you to put up a box in front of you during your game, and you can adjust the sound. All right. Of course, we know the file paths. You should from the installation. Okay. Network. I suggest not messing with this at all, except for up top here, assembly hall screenshots. If you're hosting, you can turn that off. And autosave assembly hall state, you can turn that off too. Okay. Um, your language, you can change whatever language you want to use here. It's right here. And the menu will change to that language. So, like Russia, if I select Russia, it would change to it. Okay. And that's it. And then you have your exit, which you exit out and back to your menus here. Now you have your control menus here, and this is to set your controls and stuff like that. Okay. Um. So you go through. This will take some time. I suggest that you go through each one of these and decide what you want to map. If you're using a joystick or whatever's comfortable for you, is how you should map this. All right. It's going to take some time. I'm not going to lie. But what you need to do is whatever vehicles that you're interested in and playing, then you need to put that vehicle on a map like this. So we got a mission editor. Remember, I'm pretend I never played before, so uh, I'm, let's say I did some tutorials already. Okay, so I did some tutorials on the M1A1, and I want to go map the buttons of how I want to do it. Okay. I love how it's taking forever to load. Okay, so now we're in the mission editor. I want to go to new. It's going to ask me to pick a map. So since I'm not going to make a mission right now, I'm just trying to do my maps for my vehicles that I'm learning. I'm going to put each vehicle, well, after it lets me select it, I'm going to put each vehicle on the map, and then I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to go to test, and I'm going to test the controls of that vehicle. So you'll see. While that's loading, I'm probably going to close this out. Probably close that one out too. Close this out too. Um, yeah. All right. So I want to pick, this is just for testing right now, so I'm going to pick the flat map. So flat map, open. I'm just going to hit OK because there's nothing there. So OK. Okay, so we got a flat map here. There's nothing here. Just a bunch of, it's just flat. Okay, so, alright. Now, you don't have to do that. It doesn't matter. Okay, now I'm going to put the units I want to map the keys to. So I'm going to go to tank here, go to new unit tank, and then the units that are in the dark black are the crewable units. Now the ones that are not, you still have a view. You just have the F8 view. So it's like the high camera view on them. Okay. So I'm going to map the M1A1. Okay. And the platoon size, I'm going to get 4 right now, but I'm going to show you why. Okay. So I'm going to hit tactics stay. And then we hit formation line. And as you see the blue dots here, those are your tank, each unit itself. And then it tells you what the formation is doing here. Let's set the space into wide. I'm going to zoom in where you can see. Okay, so it's wide, formation of wedge, line, column, V, um, echelon left, echelon right, coal, and herringbone. Okay, so we're going to go to line. We're going to turn our units this way. And we're going to set them to blind. And the reason is we don't want our units firing at everything that we put on the other side. Okay? Now, I have 4 M1A1s here. I'm going to divide them up like this. Okay, now I'm going to change this tank. You can change tanks within the platoon. So I'm going to change this tank to a Leopard 2A4, which I want to do the maps to that. Okay. A Leopard 2A5 DK. I have the M1A1, and then I'm going to do the M1A2 set right here. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the difference. I'm going to put a non-crewable tank, which I'll put the Merkava, and I only want one. See the platoon size? So I'm going to 1 unit, even though it's 2 alpha. Okay. Now I'm going to put him on stay and blind because I don't want him shooting my targets. Oops. Blind. Okay. And there we go. I want to double click on him because that's where you see how you turn dark blue. So when this starts, I'm going to start in him. Okay. All right. So now I want a red unit just to track. So I'm going to go to red here. And my blue units are gone. Okay. So maybe if I start into something, I don't know how far out, and I want to do exact measurements and stuff like that. I'll go back to blue here, and I'll take a black line, custom line, put through like this. Alright, and then I'll right click on it, and I'll copy to all other parties. Now, when I go to red, I know my blue units are right there. Okay, so I want a tank to be, let's just do 1500 meters out. Okay, so I'm gonna have a, we'll just do a T14 Armada. Now we're gonna do one tank. Now I want him moving. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put him on the march. We're going to move him out just a tad and create a waypoint. Okay, now what I want to do is do a new route, put him on march, and then put him going out to, we'll have him go out to here. And then he will come back, see, I just left click, put a dot down, and he will come back, and I want him, actually move him like this, left click again, and then right click. Oop, sorry. We'll hit him in March, and then I put a left click and then a right click, and then it attached to it. Okay. All right. So now this guy will repeatedly go like this, and keep going unless he's killed. All right. So we're not planning on shooting here. So I'm going to put his status on blind, and he's just going to be a moving tank. Now we're going to put him. We can do this too. Let's adjust this route a little bit. Okay. So now I know he'll be coming back, so let's have him come back slow. So we'll make the speed slow. Okay. That way it gives us some tracking time. Alright. So now we are ready to do our test and our key mappings. Okay. Alright, so we hit save as, and it's in my scenarios. I'll just put it in, I don't know, I'll just keep it here. Okay. So I'm going to save as control mappings. Alright, and save. Now we're ready to test. So you go over to test. Okay, so while we wait, just to let you know, I have an X52 joystick. Okay. I also had the T16000, I think it is. Yeah, that's my old joystick. So I have the controls for both settings, which I exported. Remember, I showed you can export. I have them saved. That way, if I switch joysticks, then I can use both of them without having to go through this every time. Okay. So, in fact, I'll have to do that too. I'll have to show you how to export your controls, which should be make sense after this. So, all right. So we ain't worried about no briefing. We don't have any. We'll hit start, and let's hit Alt S. There's your master volume. We're gonna turn it down. All right, hit OK. All right. So we're in the M1A1. Okay. It starts shooting the exterior view, which is right here. All right. Now all our F keys, like F1 through F11, have some kind of function to them. Okay. Now F6 through F9 and then F11 are positions, like crew positions, and then F11 is the infantry position in the vehicle. Okay, which I don't have an IFV on the map right now, but if I did, I'll show you next. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to F7 here. This is your crew commander position. Okay, so you hit F7, it's going to take you to the crew positions. All right, your F1 through your F4 is for your sighting systems for the most part. Okay, so like F1 takes you here into the vehicle itself. F2 takes you into the main site. F3, depending on what position, normally takes you into the auxiliary position or the crew sword weapons, which the commander has. Okay, or Alt F3 can do the same. And then F4 normally takes you to the periscopes. Okay, now your F5 is the map. So when you want to go to your map, you go to F5. Okay. Alright, so I'm in the crew position now, alright? I know that we're going, so I don't know what to do. I never played this before, okay? I just know that I press some buttons and look around. So, left mouse button, if you're outside and you click it, it will allow you to look around, okay? Alright, so I need some help with my keys, alright? So where you go here is you'll go to eSIM Games, Documentation folder, okay? So I'm looking for some documents to help me here. PDF for print, and look at that, you have keyboard charts. So keyboard English, and there you go. Now I want to rotate this, which forgive me on my Microsoft Adobe here. Rotate view clockwise. And there you go. Okay, so now I'm understanding a little more. There's my ammos. Okay, there's some of my keys. So acceleration, stop, go right, go left. Okay, go up, go down. I guess I take that as ducking. So let's see, Q will make me pop up. Z will make me pop down. And it works. Okay, so there's a keyboard chart that you can use that will be handy for you. Okay, alright. So let's see, it says palm switch, dynamic lead, parry cancel. Okay, so P. So let's see what P does. So I'm going to click here, and sure enough, I'm overriding now. I'm pressing the P button. Okay, alright. So now I know that. Okay, alright, so now I want to map the, I know that's palm switch, P. Now I want to map it to my joystick. Alright, so go up here, go to system, and I hit controls. Okay, now I want to search, and I want to go to palm. And there you go. Here's all your palm switch functions. Okay, so look, there's the P key right there, which I'll double click it, and it's asking me to press a hotkey. So well, depending on what you have, a joystick, or the keyboard, or your hat switches, whatever it is, will go here. So I want to press joy button 6 on my joystick. Okay, now I know if I press that button that it does the palm switch. Okay, so let's see here. Let's test it now. On my X55, I push my button that I just mapped and it works. Okay, so that's pretty much, you go through each key, go up here to control, go through each one you want to do. Okay, on each vehicle, and then you map it. So let's say, let's go, hang on. Alright, so let's go to F6, will take me to the gunner's position. F2 will take me to the sighting. Okay, N is my magnification. And my number lock plus takes me to day. It turns off to TIS. Okay. Alright, so now it's reversed. Okay, so I don't need a palm switch to traverse in the gunner seat. Now if I hit the P key, it acts like it's dumping lead, as if I released the palm switch. Okay, so something to remember, and it depends on what vehicle you use. Okay, some vehicles have it where you have to press it, some don't. Like in the SAP, when you use the CITV, you have to press the P key to traverse the CITV and to override, which makes sense. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna look for this Armada that we have traveling. There it is, right there. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to hit the plus key, the number pad, and I'm going to hit N key. Alright, now, oh no, I got to figure out how to laze. Now, all vehicles have a lazing function in their fire control system. Alright, so you basically have to laze to your target. Some tanks have auto lead, others have dynamic lead. Okay, so they all have their own little function. Some tanks have auto trackers where you can actually, not tanks but IFVs and still Bs, where you can actually auto track a vehicle. So it's pretty neat stuff, and each vehicle you would have to read up on it to learn about it. Okay. Alright, so I just lace with my control key, okay? And now with the M1A1, I know that it has a single axis head assembly, which is the mirrors are separate. The azimuth mirror goes with the turret, and the elevation mirror is it's a separate stabilization mirror, okay? So this causes the reticle to be offset because they're separate instead of a Daha where they one mirror rotates left, right, up, and down. Okay, so now I'm tracking. Okay, because I entered a ballistic solution into the fire control system. Okay, so I have a range of 1,900 meters. Okay, so if I was to shoot right now, I probably would hit that target. Of course, it's got an APS, so it'd probably block it. It'd still hit it though and damage it. But I don't want to because I'm just mapping right now. Okay. Now for the M1A1, instead of I couldn't be able to scan because my reticle's all over the place. So going through the tutorials, I would have to dump my lead. So I would have to dump the ballistic solution out of the fire control system. All right. And to do that, it says I have to press the palm switch key. So I will hit P, and guess what? It's gone. And there you go. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to continue the map. Hit your controls. So I used the control on the keyboard to lays. So I want to map it to my joystick. So I hit lays here. And there it is. Lays control. So you double click. And then whatever button that you want to use for the lays. And you map it. Okay, so I have joy button 22. So now I'm going to go over. And then I'm going to lays it now. Boom, on the joystick it works. Okay, so now I just mapped my palm switch and then my lays on my joystick. Okay, so you want to go through the vehicle and vehicles that you like using the most. And if I were you, I'd start at the gunner's position, which a lot of it's just lasing and dumping your lead and magnification, thermals, black and white hot. Okay, and you can map it to however you want. All right. For the Abrams, you need to know that the ammo selects. Okay, the ammo indexes, because when you fire, if you were to fire heat index, you would have to index it. The gunner indexes the round, unlike the loader does in the Leopard. Okay. So we're gonna go to the Leopard now. Oh, sorry. I still got to show you that. All right. So here's the Leopard. Okay, as you see, my magnification works the same. My palm switch works the same. Okay, and my lays should work the same. So let's find the target, wherever the hell you want to. There he is. Right there. Alright, so it should be the same lays button. I just pressed it and it's working. Alright, so this Leopard, the Leopards have dynamic lead. So even though I just lays, it had a ballistic solution with no lead added to it. Okay, now I have to add lead. I have to provide dynamic lead for this vehicle. Okay, and by that I have to hit my P key, which is similar. It's the same mapping as your palm, but it's not the same. It's the same key as your palm, but it's not the same mapping there. That's the right way to put it. Okay, so I know that P works for dynamic lead, as it says here. Dynamic lead, P. Palm switch, P. Okay. Period cancel, P. That's important too. Alright. Alright, so now I know that my dynamic lead is the P key. Okay. But I want to map it. So we go up here. Then we go to controls. We're going to go to lead. Let's see what happens when we lead. There it is. Dynamic lead. P, the same as palm switch, but it's not the same function. Okay? And then I have a different button for dynamic lead. Okay, so double click on it, push the button I want to do it. It says press hotkey. I did. And hit OK. Alright, now I have dynamic lead. So if I wanted to track this target now, I would laze, as you see I just laze, and then you press the dynamic lead and I can track him to fire. So I'm going to shoot in front of him where I won't hit him. There went the round. It was hard to see. Let's see if I can do it this way. Alright, I know I laze, so I'm going to apply dynamic lead in front. And there it is. Okay? Now, without dynamic lead, watch what happens. It will not hit him. And there you go. There's no lead apply. Okay? So, I have the magnification. Remember, the leopards, except for the STRV and the 2E, does not have magnification in day channel. Okay? Now, in thermals, it does. And it should be the same mapping as we did in the Abrams for magnification, which will be... Oops. That's the wrong button. Will be your N key, I believe. So we go to mag, MAG, toggle mag, and N key. Okay, and there it is. See how I have all the gunners the same. Hat down is my modification. Okay, I probably need to do these. These are new. Alright, so see, I haven't did these yet. I could actually do them now. Modification increase, modification decrease. Let's do the, it's actually pretty new. And hotkey, I wanna, yeah. And then, alright. Okay, so I did that. It's for future use on the crows. Alright, so there you go. Alright. Okay. Now, this is basic for the gunnery, for the tanks, okay? You need traversing, like this. You need to be able to do your magnification, like this. And then you need your, from day to TIS, from day to thermal. And then you need to know that your lead between the two tanks. So if I'm using the Abrams, I don't have to use dynamic lead. If I'm using the Leopard, I have to use dynamic lead. Okay? Which now I'm applying dynamic lead. Let's go to the Abrams. Alright, we'll go and get F6. Alright, no dynamic lead will need to be applied. And as you see, the magnification. And there you go, there's lead being applied. Okay? So the gunner stations are pretty important to map first. Alright. Now I know my W key will push me forward. My S key will stop. Okay, my X key will reverse me. My A key will pivot me left. My D key will pivot me right. Okay. And my E key is an engage. It can put me in an engagement battle position. Okay. Alright. Now I'm going to go to the SEP. I'm going to go to the F7, which puts me in the commander's position. And I'm going to hit F3. I went into a CITV position. Why didn't I go into the cruise serve position? The reason is that some vehicles have more positions to them than others. So if it has a cruise serve weapon like the SEP, and it has two different sites up here, F2 takes me to the GPSE, Gunner's Primary Site Extension, and the F3 takes me to the CITV Commander Independent Thermal Viewer, which is right here, okay? So I'm going to hit Alt F3. That will take me to the cruise serve position, okay? Alright, and then I can hit my Q key to get off of it, or F2 or whatever, okay? So I'm in F3 now, alright? This one's got, some vehicles got functions where you can actually go up and click on the functions here, like the SEP. Alright, so I'm going to separate, I'm going to put it in hunter-killer mode, okay? And I want to learn how to do a designate, alright? So I'll put it in manual. What happened here? This is my gun line of sight, and this is my CITV line of sight. But it's not moving. Let me move my joystick. I'm moving my joystick now, it's not moving. Guess what happened? This is one of them vehicles that require a palm switch for you to press to move it. Okay, so P key will move this. So I'm going to press my P key on my keyboard, or I'm going to press the palm switch that I designated to my joystick, which is my the button that I set to it. I can't remember exactly what the which one it was. Okay. Alright, so now I'm moving it by pressing the P key. Alright, back and forth here. So now I can move my sight here. Okay. And then I use the N key, and then the same thing, magnification. Okay, so some of the functions are the same. Alright. And look, now it's out of focus. What's going on here? Why do I have an out of focus here? Okay, so let's see. I need something with focus. So you go to controls here. You type in focus. But it doesn't say autofocus or nothing like that. Well, I'm going to say this because this has been a question too. Focus imaging system goes for the tanks to focus. Okay, it's an autofocus for, well, I wouldn't say auto. You press it, wherever the range is, and then it'll focus to that range for you. Alright, so I have mine mapped. I hit OK. Alright, so let's hit the palm switch and go back to that vehicle. And now I'm going to autofocus it, which it should be better now. Oh, don't want to designate. There it is. Let me get a, I wonder if that would do it. Okay, there. Alright, so it's pretty blurred out. Now I'm going to focus it. And there it is. Okay. Alright, so I just focused to this tank. Now, as a commander, I want to learn how to do a designate. Okay. So, I don't know how to do that. So I'll go to the keyboard chart. And I'm going to look around here. And then look. TC designate M1A2 sub. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to go back here. I'm using my joystick too, by the way. I can use both. So I hit my palm switch, which is P key. And then I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. So I'm just going to go over here. So I want to do a designate. I just pressed the O key and now I did a designate. So that's pretty cool stuff. So without going into the functions of the fire control system for this app, I just did a designate. Okay. Now that's pretty cool. I have different reticles now. I have firing reticles, which is pretty cool. Alright, and then I noticed my fire control mode is different. CITV gun line of sight. That's pretty much telling the tank that the commander is going to shoot through the sight if he wants to. Now when I release it, it goes back to the hunter killer, which it's supposed to do, and I lose the reticle, which is normal. But anyways, let's go back to controls here. Okay, so now I want to map my O key. So go here, go to controls, go to designate, and sure enough, look at that. There it is. Okay. Now you can also filter your commands, and it will have some of the vehicles, but it does not have the, oh, let me take this out. But it does not have the common keys like lays, palm switch, stuff like that. As you see, it's not on here. Okay. So you gotta remember there are common keys and stuff like that. So what I would do is suggest is that you go through each one and you search through this. As you see, gunner station, commander station, all the F keys here. We'll go to the driver station, F9. Okay. Now I was going to show you about the crew and non-crewable positions. Okay. So as you see, I'm in the tank here. All right. Can in and out and stuff like that. All right. Control it the way I want to. All right. Now, if I go to this vehicle, I don't have F7. I don't have F6. I don't have F4. None of that, because I cannot get inside this vehicle. Now I can control this vehicle with my, like, you can drive this vehicle all around, okay? Or if I wanted the turret to traverse left, I can hit shift, you know, left, or shift arrow key forward, or shift arrow key right, okay? Or I can use the icon right here and say engage here, and if there's a unit, you say engage at this unit. Okay. So let's just say suppressed here. Actually, let's see if I can engage him. Hang on. Ah, damn mouse. Alright, so I clicked on that tank. Let's see if it no. Now, if he wasn't blind, he'll probably see that tank and be on him right away anyway, so let's see if it'll suppress him. It's not working. That's pretty funny. Well, it's supposed to suppress. It's not doing it. Maybe out of range? Yeah, coax. Alright, so it's out of range. That's why. It wouldn't do it. Alright. So, but it won't. See if he have fire. No, he won't. Okay. But anyways, that's the difference between the crewable and non-crewable vehicles. Okay? I think this one's got troops. Or is it the other one? It's the other one. Okay. Alright. So, that's gonna conclude this part here. And there's some key chart. Okay. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to exit this. Quit. Yes. And quit. No. Then it just takes me back to the mission editor. Alright. So I think this video is going on long enough. And I'm going to make another part. So probably get into more gameplay and things like that and editing. We'll see. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe, hopefully this gets you far enough where you can at least start shooting the range and start getting comfortable with your controls. Okay? Remember, you know, a lot of vehicles just require palm switch, delays, modification, thermals, and to be able to drive the vehicle. And then, you know, of course, to get to your position, F6 and F2. Okay? So you get that far and get started, then you start getting better and familiar with the fire control systems. You'll be fine. Okay. All right. Thank you.